guys, Mark Lassagne here. We're here in my garage and I'm gonna show you how to build a rod rack. Like this one we have up here. I got about 40 rods up there and then I got a few more rods laying around that I need to put away. So I'm gonna show you guys how I build a rod rack. Hopefully it'll help you store some of your rods. I just went down to Home Depot, got me some 1x4x8 boards. Right? And I like primed because then I can put them up. I pretty much don't have to do anything to them. So what I do first is I measure it out and I put a mark every 6 inches. So I go down every 6 inches. So 8 times 2 holds 16 rods. So two boards are going to hold 16 rods, right? So, and we're going to drill some holes in there. So what I did is first is I marked all the holes, marked it in the center, marked it every 6 inches. Then next, I'm going to drill some holes. And what I'm going to do, I have 3 boards here because I have one that's a little bit short. I'm going to make a little short rod rack, maybe put it up on the side. But what we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole all the way through all 3 of them. So I marked one board and then I clamped them all together. Then I don't have to mark each board and then they're all the same. So I have my safety glasses on, got my drill. There, I'm just going to go down each one and drill it right through the center. There we have it. Now we have the first holes drilled. So now you see we got 3 boards with all holes drilled. So one half of the board is going to have a 2-inch hole. 2-inch hole is for the butt section of the rod. Then the other one is going to have an 1.5-inch hole for the tip section of the rod. So when I put these up, I'm going to have them 4 feet across, right? So 4 foot, it gives a nice span, so you can put a 6-foot rod in there, or you can put an 8-foot rod in there, and you can still fit a short, maybe a 5.5 if you have any small rods. Okay, now we're going to drill some holes. So we're going to get these 2 out of the way for the moment. You want to have it down into a pretty sturdy spot. Now the pilot hole I drilled is smaller than this drill bit. So I want to drill this and you just put it on one, slow it down a little bit. You want to drill pretty slow. If you try to push real hard, it'll come through and rip the back side of it. So there's one, 15 more to go. Okay, that's one done, 1.5 to go. All right, there we have it. 16 holes for the rod butts. Now we're gonna drill it for the tips. Now we're going from our 2-inch hole saw to our 1.5-inch hole saw. Okay, and now we're on hole size number 2. One. Okay, all the small holes are drilled. Now we have to mark it so we can cut it all out. Okay guys, now for the technical part. We got all the grunt work done, drilled all the holes in both boards, and now we're going to use called a triangle square. Pretty handy little tool. Well, it has this one slot that is at 45 degrees, which is the perfect angle for putting our rods in. So let me show you how we're going to do that. So we have our one. This is our one with the small holes that we have for the rod tips. So the butt end, we're going to slide our butt end in and then just hook our front end up. Now we could put it up there like this and slide both ends in, but it's really kind of a pain. So we're going to do it. We're going to use a little angle square and make some marks on this. So we're going to take it and I want to put it right close to the top of the hole here. This goes pretty quick. Now it has this nice slot in it. Okay, and I made a couple of them. I'll show you real quick. So here we have the little lines. Now I'm going to cut these on my chop saw here. Can you see the chop saw? Now you can see the chop saw. There it is. So I'm going to cut them on my chop saw, where I put a little jig in here and then I lay it up there and I cut this. You have to be real careful because you don't cut all the way through. So you can either use a jigsaw, a skill saw, or the chop saw. So I'm going to go ahead and mark all these, then we're going to start cutting them, and then I'll tell you what we do after that. Okay, we have it all marked, and now we're going to start cutting. The nice thing about the chop saw is that I can move it at an angle. So I'm going to show you one that I've already done. So this one, you can see most of the time you can get all the way through. We're going to just pop those out. Pop those out, and then I'll use my little skill saw and I'll just cut those ones out. So this is the short board, okay? So I have some small holes because I'm going to use spinning rods. So the little small hole's fine. And then I'm going to cut it right here. So this is one that I can put in a little spot where I don't have much room. But the other one's going to go along the garage top where I can hold 16 rods. So that's what it's going to look like after you're done cutting. When you cut too far, you get into it a little bit. You know, we could use a little putty and mark that up, and then we could paint it, you know, clean it up, paint it if we want to, or you can just hang it up like that. Okay, I have a little jig set up here on the outside so I don't have to, so I can keep the board a little bit further away, and it'll be easier for me not to cut all the way through it. So I'm just going to line this right up, right on the marks. Get out here, and I want to be really careful when I'm doing this so I don't go through that whole board, because this thing would cut right through it like butter. That's it, just get it right on the line. Fire it up. Just like that, so it doesn't quite cut all the way through. See, get close and it's going to nick it right there. So that's it. I just cut them all the way through, and then we'll hang it up. Okay, got my little skill saw, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim all these little edges up, all the little bumps, places where the chop saw couldn't get all the way through. So this should just take us a couple minutes just to. There you have it. So what it's going to be when it sticks up on the wall, rod goes in here, it just sits right here. Butt goes in, rod goes in here, sits right there. Just like these rods I have, I'll show you right. Okay, there's our rod racks. All we have to do is hang them up in the garage. See how the other ones hung up. It's pretty simple to do. I swear, it takes about $15 worth of material. There's a little bit of time drilling some holes, cutting them out. And you got a pretty nice rod rack. So hope that helps you store a few more rods, buy a few more rods, go get some Akuma rods and put them up there like I have my collection. So hope that works for you. You guys have a great day and stay safe.